Welcome to the Complete Story Series, where I bring you trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand what happened in the book and keep you up to date on your favorite comics while I read it dramatically back to you. Some people call it yelling at you. Either way, you seem to be enjoying the video because you're here. Today, we're going to be continuing our storyline of Deadpool, Daniel Way, the run of comics that got me interested into Deadpool. Now, I'll link the playlist down below, but what you really need to know is that Deadpool is currently looking for a way to die. He's decided that immortality is boring and he's just messing with everyone because he just wants to die. And today he's going to end up in Vegas and then things are going to happen. But if you saw the clickbait for this video, Ghost Rider is going to show up. Yeah. Enjoy. After leaving New York, Deadpool made a stop in North Georgia when the bus he was riding got robbed. Because of that, Deadpool took it upon himself to end the corruption in Mason County by doing the one thing that he knew he had to do: become county sheriff. It was because of that Deadpool managed to have all of Mason County sheriffs arrested, and he went along his merry way to Las Vegas. With the news of the original Avengers reuniting, many people took it as a sign of hope, that hopefully their world will stop having to see so much violence. Others, however, took it as an opportunity to party, like those at the Poppy Field nightclub in Las Vegas. When the reporter asks the club manager how everyone's reacting to the new Avengers, the manager says that it's been so long since the kids had any kind of heroes to look up to. Who are they supposed to look up to, huh? Because it ain't no dirtbags like Deadpool. It just so happens that Deadpool is watching the news that night. And the next night, the manager of the Poppy Field nightclub goes into his office when he suddenly hears a voice telling him, "Hello, do you happen to know who I am?" The manager looks at Deadpool and he tells him, "I'm gonna take a guess and say you're the guy who broke into my office and didn't realize the costume party was last night." Deadpool tells him, "Oh, I know all about the costume party. I saw it on TV. You're the guy who defamed me. Called me a dirtbag in the memory servers." The manager steps back telling him, "Wait, you're actually Deadpool? Am I gonna, die now?" And Deadpool tells him, "I happen to notice that this room has a panic button. I'm gonna have to say this now. You might not want to push that button. Some bad things might happen." The manager tells him, "Look, I don't want any trouble." And Deadpool tells him, "Oh well, if that's the case, I should be going then." As Deadpool begins to leave, the manager sighs, letting out a sigh of relief, but then pushes the panic button. Down in the club, the button triggers Deadpool's makeshift explosives and he blows apart Club Poppy Fields. A few moments later, the casino owners run to the security room to figure out what's going on, and while they do, they notice that one of their casinos is losing a lot of money. One of the owners looks at the camera and says that it's Deadpool. A robotic voice from behind then tells everyone that there's no way it's a coincidence that he's here and everything's exploding. The owner looks back asking, "Can you handle Deadpool?" And the Las Vegas superhero, The House, tells him, "It'll be my pleasure, but there's something I'm gonna need you to do." Back over at the casino, an announcement goes out that in just a few moments, the inaugural B. Arthur lookalike contest is about to begin. Seeing how much Deadpool loves B. Arthur, he grabs his chips and he begins to run around the lobby when he suddenly stops. He looks up, telling him, "You gotta be kidding me. This giant mechanical suit looks nothing like B. Arthur." As the news reporters begin to get onto the scene, they begin to describe the events and how House is taking on Deadpool. Deadpool asks, "The House? That's the best you could come up with?" House blasts Deadpool back, telling him, "I could do you one better, Wade. Welcome to Las Vegas, where the House always wins." Deadpool gets up, telling him, "Wait, I know names. Who's in that suit anyway?" House pushes the button on the side of his helmet, and as it starts to retract, the man inside tells him, "My name's Weasel. Guess what? I'm a hero now." 43 minutes later, Deadpool wakes up trapped in a box. And not any box, the torture box that Deadpool put Weasel into so long ago. The box is lined with razor-sharp objects, making it near impossible to move around without cutting yourself. He then asks if this box is just for him, and Weasel tells him, "Yeah, I've been keeping it in storage. So don't worry, I'm over the fact that I was once in there." Deadpool tells him that it's cool that he's gotten over it, but there's one thing that he could do. You know, you could go screw yourself. Weasel shouts that he shouldn't have come to Vegas. "This is my city now. I'm the hero around here. I even got a cool accent now." Deadpool says, "I would clap for you, but you know. Anyway, out of curiosity, how much money are you making?" Weasel tells him that he wouldn't believe him if he told him, and Deadpool tells him, "Come on, try me." Weasel turns back, hearing the voice coming from somewhere else, and as Deadpool sits on a ledge, Weasel asks him how. Deadpool tells him, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But anyway, I got a proposition. I'll like it very much." Weasel asks, and what if I don't want to do it? Deadpool tells him, well, if you say no, then I'm gonna beat you with a giant hammer, the one right over there. But if you say yes, well then you'll be making twice as much as you're making now. How about we do that? Expand. From the looks of it, you got 2 house suits, right? How about we use them, partner? Later that night, the supervillain Grizzly bursts into one of the casinos. Right on cue, Weasel makes his appearance as the house. Just as Grizzly starts to fight back, he's hit in the legs with a laser. Everyone looks back asking who was it, and Weasel tells him that he would like to introduce Wildcard, the house's new sidekick. Just as the two of them make their debut, the roulette table is thrown at them, and Grizzly says that he's going to show them how the Grizz handles business around here. Grizzly picks Deadpool up by his suit and he begins to bear hug him, and just then, Deadpool rockets the two of them off into the sky. Once they stop and begin to float, Deadpool pulls back his helmet stating, hey, I got a proposition for you. You're gonna love it. Later, once Grizzly is, dealt with, Weasel brings Deadpool over to meet his bosses, and they tell him that Wildcard is a hit. He even makes it look better than him. Just who is Wildcard? Weasel tells them, well, Wildcard would rather remain anonymous, so... Deadpool pulls back his helmet telling them, hi, the name's Deadpool. Perhaps you've heard of me. The owners look at Deadpool and state that he is a maniac and everyone hates him. Does he honestly think they're gonna let him run around in a super-powered armored suit? And Deadpool tells them, well, do you honestly think you have a choice? The owners then tell him, well, that's a good point. Later, back at Weasel's lab, Weasel walks in stating, thanks for making me look bad in front of everyone. And Deadpool tells him, yeah, well, look at all the press I'm getting. Wildcard is so hot and fresh, I can do no wrong. But, okay, maybe I did show you up big time. Sorry about that. How about this? We switch. Weasel asks him what does he mean, and Deadpool says, we switch suits. Who's gonna know the difference? Weasel says, well, the casino owners will. And Deadpool tells him, not if we don't tell them. Weasel then asks, so he's gonna be the sidekick? And Deadpool shouts, embrace your destiny, friend. Just then the alarms go off, and as Weasel gets to the computers, he sees a security feed of Grizzly breaking back into the casino. Deadpool hops into the house suit asking what is he waiting for. It's time for them to go spank some bare ass. The two of them quickly finish suiting up and they go out to stop Grizzly, but after taking a few hits, Grizzly begins to head towards the counting room. Grizzly then punches into the room where the casino holds and counts all of their money, and he tells everyone, all right, bag it all up. Once Grizzly has the money, Weasel stands in front of the doorway asking, do you really think that you're going to get through here? Grizzly turns back and runs full speed into Deadpool and Weasel, knocking them down. And Weasel shouts, come on, we gotta hurry. Deadpool tells him, yeah, about that, I got a headache, so I'm just gonna take it easy now. Weasel runs off to catch up with Grizzly, telling him that he should be ashamed of himself. And Deadpool tells him, yeah, they should be. Weasel then follows Grizzly outside and goes back to fighting, and just when Grizzly thinks he can take Wildcard out, Weasel hits him with a blast, slamming him into the ground. Grizzly gets back up, and as he looks, he sees Wildcard charging up another blast, aimed directly at his head. Everyone asks if Wildcard is going to kill someone, and once Weasel is done charging, he reaches down and honks Grizzly's nose. Everyone then starts to cheer for Wildcard, and shortly after, Deadpool comes out shouting, yeah, let's hear it for them. The crowd begins to quiet down, and then the cheers turn into boos. And Deadpool asks, oh, so it's gonna be like that, huh? After all I've done for you and I saved this crappy town, now you're gonna turn on me? Weasel reaches out telling him, dude, chill. It's not the time to freak out. And Deadpool tells him, oh no, it's the perfect time to freak out. And he punches Weasel. Everyone starts to panic and run away, and Deadpool begins to pick up the money and then Grizzly, and he begins to fly away. Everyone watches as House gets away with both the casino's money and a supervillain, and among those people are the casino owners. As news spreads of Weasel's betrayal, the casino owners ask Deadpool, why would he do something like this? And Deadpool says it's obvious, Weasel's a disgruntled man. Not only did he feel like he was made to look bad, but he felt like you guys weren't even backing him up. But if there's one thing you should know, it's that Weasel will be back. And the casino owners ask, are you sure? And Deadpool says, buddy, I can guarantee it. He'll probably be back first thing in the morning. Later, Deadpool heads over to the warehouse where he's keeping the house suit and Grizzly, and tells Grizzly, all right, we're hitting them again first thing tomorrow morning. Meanwhile, a short while later over the Mojave Desert, Weasel makes a call to the only person that he can trust, Blind Al. Blind Al tells him that he should be running. Run and never look back. He's getting involved with Deadpool, and Weasel shouts asking, let's just let Deadpool win? And she says, well, you lost the moment you started playing his game. That's how it works with Deadpool. Weasel yells, no way! I'm here and I'm gonna take Deadpool out once and for all. And Blind Al says, yeah, well, you're an idiot. Just then, the explosion goes off, and Deadpool and Grizzly get to work robbing the casino again. Weasel climbs into the wild card suit, stating, "All right, time to make that traitorous jerk pay." Over at the casino, Deadpool breaks down the walls, and as they do, Grizzly asks, "Can you stop with all the smoke?" Deadpool tells him, "Yeah, sorry about that, wrong button." While Grizzly starts running for the vault, Deadpool waits in front for Weasel to arrive, and just as he does, he shouts, "There you are!" Weasel begins to beat into Deadpool, shouting, "You are so unbelievable! Betraying me like this, we used to be friends!" Deadpool stands back telling him, "Dude, you gotta stop living in the past! Look around, it's a world of opportunity! Everything here is for the taking! Join me, and with our combined strength, we can end this destructive conflict and bring order." Weasel charges up his laser, yelling, "I will never join you." And he fires a blast, burning right through Deadpool's helmet and head. He then waits for a moment, asking, "Did I do it? I did it! Now I gotta get Grizzly." Meanwhile, over at the vault, Grizzly starts going through the bags, and he realizes that there's something weird about the bags. He tries to figure out what's going on, and the vault door slams down shut with him in it, and he sighs. A few hours later, after turning Grizzly in and making the repairs needed to the wild card suit, Weasel gets a call from the casino owners, who still think that Deadpool is wild card. The owners state that they ran into a problem after cleaning everything up. The house suit, it was empty. Weasel's body vanished. Weasel sighs, and behind him, Deadpool asks, "Is that bad news or what?" Weasel spins back asking, "How?" And Deadpool tells him, "Easy, I snuck out. Why do you think there was so much smoke there? In the vault, all fake money. Screwed you over." Weasel tells him, "Great. Did you come back to kill me?" And Deadpool shouts, "Of course not. The house was a crappy superhero, and you need to face it. You were going to blow it sooner or later. That is why you're going to return as being wildcard." Weasel thinks about it and then says, "Wait, what about you?" And Deadpool tells him, "Well, I'm going to have to disappear." Weasel shouts, "I knew it! Where am I supposed to go?" And Deadpool tells him, "There's only one answer, and we both know it." The next day, Deadpool heads into the casino to meet with the owners, and the owners tell him that it's nice of him to show up an hour late. Deadpool tells him, "Well, justice may never sleep, but I do, especially on Wednesdays." One of the owners says, "Actually, it's Friday." And Deadpool yells, "And Fridays!" Another owner tells him, "Right, well, on to business. Was Weasel taken care of?" And Deadpool tells him, "Of course, he's in a box." "Okay, good meeting. See you guys like in, what, 2 weeks?" Another owner then says that he might not realize this, but as the chief of security, he was expected to brief them every morning and night. Deadpool scoffs, "Man, you make it sound like a job." And the last owner says, "Well, yeah, because it is." Deadpool pauses and realizes what this means. "Wait, I have a job? No!" After a few minutes pass, the owners ask, "What do you mean I quit?" And Deadpool says, "Just what it sounds like. This job sucks and I don't want to do it anymore." One of the owners then shouts, "We had an agreement." And Deadpool says, "That's a good point. However, I have a gun." Another owner then says, "Fine, go ahead and leave. We can just have any idiot wear that suit. There was never anything special about you." Deadpool stops and tells him, "Now, that you really shouldn't have said." After beating up all three of them, Deadpool walks out of the boardroom cracking his knuckles, stating, "Aha, much better." He then looks forward and sees someone and asks, "So, are you gonna stand there looking all scary, or do you have something to say?" Ghost Rider tells him, "Well, you've already said it all." And he throws his chains around Deadpool's neck and he begins to speed off. As Ghost Rider drags Deadpool through traffic and onto the desert, he says, "You will pay for your transgressions of being an assassin." Deadpool tells him, "Wait, I'm not an assassin. I'm a mercenary." "There's a difference." Ghost Rider calls back, "Not to me, there isn't." As Ghost Rider drives on, Deadpool begins to pull himself up the chains, and then he reaches over to the handbrake, pulling it on the bike. It comes to a screeching halt, and the two of them are thrown off the bike and into the air. As Deadpool comes crashing down, he pulls out his guns and he opens fire. When he lands, he ends up breaking several bones and says, "Okay, maybe that wasn't a good idea." There was a loud whoosh, and the Ghost Rider tells him, "You're damn right it wasn't." Ghost Rider picks Deadpool up by his neck and tells him, "It's time for Wade Wilson to feel the pain of penance that is long overdue. The penance stare will reveal all of your past sins, and we will see through the eyes of those that you have wronged." Deadpool asks, "So, it's like a highlight reel. Well, what are you waiting for? Roll the damn tape." As Ghost Rider stares into Deadpool's eyes, something happens and it knocks the both of them apart. Johnny Blaze stands back up, realizing that he reverted out of his Ghost Rider form. And he sees Deadpool and he asks, "What the hell?" However, in Deadpool's mind, he begins to see his life back when he was 18 and tried to kill his parents. Then when he was picked up to be trained as a soldier. Then when he was told he had cancer and he volunteered for treatment. Back in the current time, Deadpool wakes up screaming and he sees Johnny and he punches him right in the face. Johnny gets back up and Deadpool asks, "Wait, aren't you the Ghost Rider?" And Johnny tells him, "Yeah, sometimes." Deadpool says, "Well, cool, I'm Deadpool all of the time, and I don't need to be reminded of it." Deadpool picks Johnny up by his shirt and asks, "What did you see?" Deadpool pushes them back, telling him nothing I haven't seen before. Johnny points off into the distance, telling him that the town is 80 miles that way. And Deadpool sighs, telling him, great. He then asks if he can use his ghost powers and repair the bike. Johnny says, no, I fix it with tools. So Deadpool sits and he waits. And after a little bit, Johnny gets back up, telling him, all right, let's ride. Deadpool waits for a moment and then says someone told him once at the end of it all, what they regret is not the things that they've done, but the things that they didn't do. Johnny doesn't say anything, and then Deadpool asks, did you come after me to kill me? Johnny tells him no, he didn't. Ghost Rider did, and no. Ghost Rider probably wanted you to see something. If he meant to kill you, you'd be dead. Deadpool then asks, so, do you think I deserve to die? Johnny tightens up one last bolt and he says, based on what I know, yeah. Deadpool looks at him and he tells him, thanks, man. And there you have it, the conclusion to Deadpool versus Ghost Rider. Next week, we're going to be bringing you yet another storyline in which Deadpool versus Captain America. See, that's what I liked about the Daniel Way run. With his run, he basically just fought various... It was like a giant 100-issue run of Deadpool versus the Marvel Universe. He's going to fight Cap, he's going to go into space, he's going to fight Hulk, then he's going to fight other stuff, then evil Deadpool, and then he's going to fight Death. Yep, you heard me right. So stick around, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with your weekly dose of Deadpool, along with what I think is currently going on of Venom. We're doing various other New Age of Heroes over here. We're doing a lot of stuff over here at Comicstorian. Stick around. We hope you guys enjoy. And we got Patreon. It's cool. We got podcasts over there. You can go hang out with us. Bye.